In a small town long ago, there were three best friends named Lily, Max, and Emma. They heard one day about a famous wise chef who lived in a faraway land and was known for being smart and giving helpful tips for a successful life. The friends were thrilled about the chance and set out to find the wise chef. After weeks of traveling, they finally got to the town where the wise chef lived. The wise chef's restaurant was an attractive location filled with the smell of delicious food that the friends were welcome to visit. They sat down at a table and couldn't wait for the wise chef to come. After some time, the chef arrived. With a smile, the wise chef said, "Hello, friends. What brought you to my little restaurant today?" One of the girls said to Mr. Wise Chef, "Mr. Wise Chef, we are here to seek your valuable advice. We weren't sure what to do with our lives. Could you help us figure this out? How could we maintain our lives?" The wise chef gave them a friendly nod and told them to sit down. After some time, the chef arrived having 3 bags in his hands. In the middle of the table was a pretty glass jar. The smart cook quietly picked up the jar and held it up so everyone could see it. He said in a soft but strong voice, "It isn't like any other jar. This was a picture of life, a sign for the journey we all began when we were born." The group moved closer because what the chef said interested them. He got a bag of walnuts. He carefully put each walnut into the jar one at a time until there was no more room. "Was this jar full?" he asked them. Seeing that no more walnuts could fit, the teens nodded and replied, "Yes." Surprisingly, the cook then brought out a bag of small berries. He began to pour them into the jar while giving it a light shake. Berries that were not as big as the walnuts rolled into the spaces between the walnuts. He asked them again, "Was this jar full now?" While some of them paused and began to see his point, many of them agreed again, "Yes, now it was full." After that, the cook took out a bag of fine sugar and began pouring it into the jar. The tiny particles filled up all the empty places between the walnuts and berries. "Was the jar full now?" he asked a third time. The group finally got it and said, "Probably not." The cook then took out a jug of milk and poured it into the jar. That's when he agreed that the jar really was full. He looked at them and said, "I wanted you to understand that this jar represents your life. The important things are your family, health, and friends. Things that would still make your life full even if you lost everything else. Your job, your house, and the car you drive are the berries that are the other things that count. The sugar stands for the little things that don't matter. There's no room for the walnuts if you put the sugar or the berries in the jar first," he said. "Life is the same. All of your time and energy would be spent on the little things, like daily checklists and boring jobs. You would never have time for the important things. The walnuts are the things that are most important to your happiness and true self. They stand for taking care of your health, spending quality time with your loved ones, and following your dreams and interests. If these weren't put first, you could have forgotten the most important parts of your life at the end. Make sure you put the walnuts in first," he said in a strong voice. "Do not let the berries or the sugar, the extra work, the habit, or the small things get in the way of them. Let the things that make you happy, that fill your spirit, and that mean the most guide your life. It's just berries and sugar from there." As the chef ended his message, Lily put up her hand and asked, "But sir, what about the milk? How did that fit into our lives?" The chef smiled at her smart question and said, "Oh, the milk. The milk shows that you can always have refreshments such as tea or coffee with a friend, even if your life seems full. You can always find time for small moments of happiness, rest, and bonding with other people, no matter how busy you are. A lot of the time, we had to switch between tasks and try to fit everything into the 24 hours in a day. We sometimes forget what was important because we were so busy with small jobs and all the activity. I told you to put your family, health, passions, and goals first, as they are your walnut. These were the parts of your life that would still make you happy and satisfied if everything else was taken away. Take care of these walnuts first, then spend time with the people you loved and cared about. Take care of your physical and mental health, and don't be afraid to follow your dreams. Don't forget to leave space for learning, growth, and kindness while you do that. Remember that in the end, it wasn't about having a full, busy life. It was about having a life that was full of events that were important to you. The point wasn't just to count the days, but to make them matter. All of them, and the milk had to be balanced in a way that made your life better and brought you real happiness. Thanks for watching. Remember to prioritize walnuts and enjoy every moment. Until next time.